Thank you for tuning into the Get Schooled on Public Education podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Baker. And remember, charter schools are public schools. April is National Autism Acceptance Month. Today, I am honored to have the founder and executive director of Arizona Autism Charter Schools, Diana Diaz-Harrison, with us today. AZACS is the first public charter school in Arizona that is focused on meeting the individualized needs of students with autism in grades K through 12. Diana, thank you for joining our podcast today. How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm so happy to be here with you, especially during Autism Acceptance Month.
Yes, your passion for helping students with autism is a cause that is extremely close to your heart. Your son was diagnosed with autism in 2004. What were your first thoughts and feelings back then?
It's a little hard to talk about that, but because when I first learned that he had autism, it was a lot of processing and a lot of grieving the child that I thought I would have and then who my child was. And also he had a lot of difficulty and regression during his 18 to 2-year-old age bracket. So it was a hard time as a mom for sure. But I am definitely not there today. Today I celebrate his neurodiversity, his and the hundreds of students that we're able to serve inspired by him. And we see our kids as very capable learners that are neurodiverse. They learn differently. So it's all about setting up the environment to make it optimal for their learning.
And how did that experience motivate you to start a school dedicated to helping other students with autism?
I always saw how in our early intervention clinical services, a lot of the work with my son was very small group or one-on-one. That's what he needed to move forward in his skills. And sadly, when he became school age, that really was not offered in typical public schools. So I really wanted an environment that mirrored the best practices that I had learned in clinical settings, but brought them to a school setting so that students could thrive and enjoy that during their K-12 experience and not just in early intervention. All of our teaching programs are very personalized, very small group. We infuse a lot of innovation and interesting STEAM curriculum, project-based learning. So inspired by my son and all that he could do, we thought this should be offered tuition-free for students across Arizona and beyond.
And how would you say the charter school model helped make this work for your son and kids in the community that needed this type of school?
I think it was great to start as a charter school. We could have started as a private school, but I really loved that in the charter movement, it's all about demonstrating through quality education and data that students can move forward, not just in their academics, but in their social, emotional learning and their behavioral health. So the charter school model seemed to be the best fit for us because we could offer all of that quality tuition free with no worries about, where's the money going to come from to pay for this. So we're excited. We think a choice is only a choice if parents can afford it and access that choice. Special needs parents already have a lot to worry about, and we want school to be one less thing. We want parents to know that we understand the kids, that they learn differently, that we may need to catch them up on some behavioral skills. That's okay. That's what we do. So offering this as a choice school and as a charter model has been the best that we could do because we're more accessible to families.
In 2014, Arizona Autism Charter School officially opened, serving 90 students in K through 5. And fast forward to 2023, you all have expanded to serve up to the 12th grades. How many students do you all serve today, and what do you think has contributed to the steady growth of your school?
So now we went from 90 students to 725 this school year. Next school year, we're growing to about 1,000. So I think the quality programming, the small class sizes, the specialty in providing the therapeutic practices for children with autism, and being more accessible to families by opening in several parts of the valley here. Central Phoenix, we're now in the West Valley. Tucson is coming in the next school year, which is a different county. And we've also launched a transportation program to make it easier for our kids to get here. All of those contributing factors have helped us be in high demand. I would say our biggest challenge is keeping up with demand.
Yes. We know that students with unique abilities have varying needs. How do you support each student to grow and thrive in their own special way?
Yes, we proudly serve the whole spectrum, from students who are nonverbal and have intensive needs to students who are very high functioning and just have some gap skills in their social their social skills and perhaps have some scattered skills in academics, but they don't have an intellectual disability. We serve students from those two ends of the spectrum to everyone in between. We do that by grouping our students by abilities and needs. We have an academic program for students working at or near grade level, a modified program for students falling in between, and a functional academic program for students who need to learn functional forms of communication, who need more support to engage in tasks, and who still are learning math, ELA, science, social studies. All of our students engage in project-based learning, and that is a beautiful thing to see because we don't leave anybody out. We see all of our students as very capable and productive learners.
You all use the applied behavior analysis approach. Can you tell us about ABA and your experience with using this as a way to help different types of learners?
So ABA is a super data-driven type of intervention where through assessments, we analyze students' gap skills, whether they are in the life skills domain or academics or communication. And then we build programs that are very chunked by very discrete tasks. And we take data on every single step very frequently to make sure the student is closing the gap on those areas to help them acquire the foundational learning to learn skills so that they can move forward and be better suited to navigate the school environment and, starting with one-on-one to small groups to a little bit larger settings. So it's very fun to see how much the students can grow and learn because we have a lot of ways to track that data. We love that our students also own their own data. All throughout the school, we have data bulletin boards and celebration awards. Every time a student masters even the smallest skill, they are celebrated, and we celebrate as a community.
Well, that sounds amazing. I hope that we get to visit the National Lions gets to visit someday.
Absolutely.
How do you all collaborate with parents to foster a supportive learning environment for students?
So we collaborate with parents. We have the usual things like parent-teacher conferences. We have IEP meetings. What we do that is above and beyond, I think, is we really change the narrative for parents about what their children can do. They come from environments where all they talk about is what our special needs kids can't do. But here we have quarterly showcases where our kids get to present their projects and their collaborative work that they've done over a quarter with their peers, and they get to present it to their families as a culminating activity and get so much positive feedback. Parents walk away in tears because they never thought their child could participate and contribute to a STEAM project. But they do, and we show that quarterly, so parents get super excited about what's the next thing their kid is going to build. We also have student digital portfolios so that anytime parents want to. They can see their students' data. They can see sample work projects. They can see photos and videos of what their kids are learning in school. We get that once a month as parents. I experience it as a parent myself. And I tell my teachers, I really feel like every time you send me that portfolio link, I'm opening a present, seeing all the fun things that my student has been learning and working on with his peers. And it's fun to see how they evolve and how they become more engaged. For our older students like my son, they have entrepreneurial businesses. They, have a coffee business. They, sell things around campus. They do teacher delivery orders. And even though, I'm not glued to him all day, every day, I get to see and open his portfolio once a month and be very proud of what he can do and grateful to the team that makes that happen.
For parents who have children with autism or children with special needs, what are some of the main qualities you recommend they look for in a school?
I would say anything that is smaller group and has personalized learning programs would be very good for our kids. A lot of our kids do have, perhaps they're on grade level in math, but their communication is very, a few years behind. So a school that has personalized learning can help them stay challenged in math, but can help them with functional communication so that we bridge the gap in that area. So that can only be done, in small group environments where there's a lot of data collection and the willingness to meet kids where they are. I think personalized learning is really good for all kids because some of our kiddos that are neurotypical have gaps for different reasons. There was so much learning loss over the pandemic that really small group personalized learning is the way to go, especially for kids on the spectrum.
And how do you feel the charter school model allows you to provide these services and this type of school?
Well, our charter in particular, and many charters, are very parent driven. I was fortunate enough and did the hard work, to dream of a model school that would really meet my kids' needs. And we're able to design that and put our resources into the classrooms to make those visions a reality that any parent would want for their kid. Our board is about 50% parents. And when we had our founding design team, it was also a majority of parents. So, for us parents, it's really more than a school. It's not a business. It's really what our kids need, and allocating all the resources into the classroom, the staff, the curriculum materials, the hands-on learning projects, all of that desire and willingness to see our kids thrive helps us funnel the resources into the classrooms. So as a charter, we have a lot of accountability, but we also have the autonomy to put the resources where they're going to make the most impact.
In 2022, Arizona Autism Charter School was awarded the YAWS Prize. The YAWS Prize recognizes the best education providers in the U.S. What was it like to win this honor, and how will this impact your school?
It was an amazing surprise and honor to win the YAWS Prize. We were competing with charter schools, public schools with special programs, private schools. It was very much an all-in national competition. So, we went into it giving it our best shot. We knew that we had excellent stories and data about what our kids can do. And I got to pitch and make it to the semifinals, then the finals. And it was such an honor to come out as the top winner. I think it's because the YAWS Prize family recognizes that neurodiversity is growing, and we cannot stop innovating because our students learn differently. On the contrary, we have to innovate even more. So I was just so thrilled and pleased. It's brought so many opportunities to our school. It was awesome to get that award in New York. But just about a week or two ago, we brought that big check to our kids at a YAWS Prize rally. The best thing of all was telling them, your hard work, your growth, your learning helped us be the top YAS Prize winner, and they feel super special. It's changing the narrative in their own mind about what they can achieve, which was a big deal, a national prize.
Yes, I did. That was just wonderful. I really love how you all included the students and just really helped them to understand how they were a part of such a beautiful honor. How can people support you in your work?
I think awareness about seeing autism more as a neurodiversity. I mean, technically it is a disability and it has its challenges, but there are a growing number of kiddos, 1 in 36 per the CDC, are on the autism spectrum. And they are very capable learners and worth investing in. If there are parents out there listening, there's a lot of hope. Yes, perhaps it's a different journey than the one you thought you were going to have, but the students, the kids are equally gracious. You know, they are so angelic. They have no filter, and that's a good thing. We let them be who they are. And in the right environment, they can thrive. So I encourage parents not to give up and find that best fit school for their kiddo. That's what school choice is all about. And we are in process of making this type of option available in every major city in America, because we launched the National Accelerator of Autism Charter Schools. And through partnerships, we are hoping to open a school in every major city so that no parent should have to suffer and not have an appropriate school choice for their child on the spectrum. So we have very big dreams and lofty goals, but so far that's worked out really well for us.
Yes, well, definitely please keep us posted in your journey. It was such a pleasure to have you as a guest and learn more about your passion for helping students. Thank you to Diana Diaz-Harrison, the founder and executive director of Arizona Autism Charter Schools. I'm your host, Brittany Baker, and thank you for listening to Get Schooled on Public Education.
Produced by Heartcast Media.